Hello, everybody, and welcome back. But don't get too excited because I've learned something really, really distressing about Lauren, and I might have to just end this whole thing. Lauren has never read Saga. It's true.
She's still upset about this show. Like I thought she would be past it by now.
I can't get past it. How am I going to get past this? You've not read
I
Saga.
thought she would just like send me like the first volume. Like I thought she would just like ship it to my house and be like, Lauren, the second it's on your doorstep, read it. But I'm still waiting. It's not on my doorstep.
I can't walk you through every single comic book experience. Okay, girl? I can't be the one, okay? Welcome back to Simply Amazing, the podcast for those of you who love Nightcrawler or hate Nightcrawler and hate listen to this, which, you know what, guys, that's a lot of negative energy in your life. Don't deal with that negativity. You should just love Nightcrawler. I don't know, what's your problem? Who hates Nightcrawler?
That's an easy solution. I like it.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I am Lisa, aka the OG Nocturne, and of course I have the gorgeous, beautiful, absolutely resplendent with me.
I'm so splendid. I get the New York accent. Thank you so much for that. I am Lauren, your friendly neighborhood bi. And I really want to talk about what's coming up in the current X books, because I feel like we haven't talked about the current state of X, and I feel like it would be a lot of fun to talk about what the hell we can expect next.
That's true. Well, everything feels like it's been kind of in limbo because everything's getting shuffled around, right? Because they've been basically ending everything with the idea of starting everything new. So we have a whole new line of books coming out under the Destiny of X, which is the next big kind of thing coming. And it's great because as you know, unless you just woke up in Encino Man, like Destiny's back and she brought receipts. Like, she's ready. So
this is her era, everybody. This is it.
This is her time. She's back and she's in a young body. Like, she tipped the guy. So she got the young body and she's ready. If anyone didn't get that, that was a Golden Girls reference. If you did get that, oh my God, please reach out to me because you're my people. So yeah, she tipped the guy. She got the young body and she's back. So yeah, it's Destiny's time. Her and Mystique are having a time, and yeah, like but on top of that, you know, every single one of the characters that we've loved, every single situation that's been happening, all the teams that we have grown to really appreciate and enjoy are all being shaken up, and everybody's being thrown on different teams. Yeah, really, one of the only teams that kind of has a little semblance of the same team is kind of the team from Way of X is going over into Legionnaires, but even then there's a lot of shakeup. So but Lauren, you got the lowdown. So girl, I'm gonna hand it over to you to take us through it.
I do. I'm so excited, y'all. So there are, to my knowledge at least, about 9 titles, which to anybody that doesn't read X-Men books, I know that sounds like a lot and you're about to have a heart attack. Please do not. Literally just read the books you want. I'm not reading all 9 titles. That's not happening. Some people do though. And if you do, you're amazing. I love that for you. I can't do it and I will not.
I can't do it either. That's what podcasts are for.
Right, exactly. But probably one of the most, I would say it is one of the most, if not the most anticipated book, new book that's coming in this era, is the one with Destiny herself in it. As part of the Quiet Council is the Immortal X-Men.
Yes, that's going to be hot.
It's been pitched as like, you know, basically like, you know, the reality show with the Quiet Council trying to figure out all their politics and their messes and backstabbing each other left and right and doing all this stuff they're not supposed to do. And I'm here for it. I want to see it all. I want to see everybody tear each other apart in the worst ways possible and be passive aggressive as hell. I'm here for it.
I liken it to like Game of Thrones meets Real Housewives, that kind of energy. Yes. Like, it's like everybody's going for the crown. Everybody's trying to figure out how they can get on top of each other. And except for like, I mean, like Kurt and Storm are probably over in the corner, like we're just trying to help, guys.
Okay,
Like, we just
Kurt
wanna
should
ruin
be
this.
getting on top of somebody. He's the one that said make more mutants.
Yes,
Kurt, get on top
agreed,
of somebody
agreed,
right
agreed,
now, sir.
agreed. He needs to hang out with the Will in Saga, and you know they need to go out together a bit and meet some people. But so everybody seems to like be, even though everyone's supposed to be working together, they all don't seem to agree with each other and want to work together. So it's going to be that kind of like Game of Thronesy, like who's going to be on top, but also the Real Housewives of it all, with just the backstabbiness and the bitchiness and like plotting. I know, like plotting against each other, and I just need that. I want so much drama,
That's literally all I'm here for with it. I mean, of course, other things, are gonna happen that I'm sure I will enjoy. But yeah, I love in particular how in the last issue of Inferno, so if you haven't read it yet, skip this part, but you should have read it by now.
Came out like 20 years ago. You should have read it. Come on. Like, I mean, give me a break.
We saw Destiny sitting right next to Charles, and then on the promo art for Immortal X-Men, she's also sitting right next to him. And then there's other I think like previews or something I've seen where she's still next to him, and I'm like, so either they'll be working very tightly together, or they're gonna be so opposed to each other they're gonna become like direct enemies. And if you think about those two becoming direct enemies and how they're going to fight each other, it's not gonna be direct. It's not gonna be Wolverine and Sabretooth ripping each other apart physically. It's gonna be both of them trying to tear each other down, like mentally, emotionally, power wise.
It's gonna be very Real Housewives. It's gonna be them emotionally tearing each other apart, talking about each other behind their backs, like it's going to be that kind of shit. It's going to be like, the downfall of Jen Shaw is what it's going to be, essentially. Although, nobody has bilked anybody out of their money in this case. However, Xavier has built a lot of mutants out of their lives and livelihood and everything else. So
I think we mean Professor Gaslighter. Wow, we've been calling him by the wrong name. I can't believe
I know,
us.
Professor Gaslighter. Ugh, the worst. The worst.
Well, one of the people on the Quiet Council who I still adore, Captain Kate Pryde, she is still captain. She will still be leading the next book on this list, 2 out of 9, The Marauders. The Marauders is getting rebooted. It's still going to be a thing. Kate is still leading it, so good for her. But we've got some new people on the team. Mr. Bishop is still there. We got Dakin, it looks like. I know some people are really not happy about it. We've got Tempo. We've got Psylocke. And then we've got 2 other characters I don't know that well. Somnus is new. And then, we have Aurora. And then, Cassandra Nova, apparently. What?
Okay. Okay. So don't get me started, because I'm going to go down the Wanda hole with it. Because it's like, if you're going to let Cassandra Nova join the party, you can't keep hating Wanda. But of course they don't hate Wanda anymore. So fair. It's all good. But it's just like, bitches. I mean, Wanda had to die and be reborn in order for them to like her. And it's just like, hey, Cassandra Nova, why don't you get on our boat? Like,
right. And then also, and to be on the team. Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna let her be a marauder? That's disgusting. Hate it with fire.
I think it is very, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it's a bit of a red herring. I don't think she's going to join the team. I think that she's there to fuck with them and fuck shit up. And I think it's going to be one of those, I think it's going to be like, similar to remember when Rogue had her team during the Mike Carey run, and it was like all villains, and then and she was like, I trust them, they're going to be good. And then all of a sudden all like turned on her, because it was like, that's what villains do, you know? And I think it might kind of go in that direction, but it remains to be seen. My mind remains open. I will say, so I don't know a lot about Somnus. From my understanding of the Somnus character, he is Dakin's boyfriend that was brought back to life through the resurrection protocols, because I think I don't know if he killed, I didn't read the issue, but I don't know if he killed himself or he like died, because he like Dakin met him like years and years and years and years, like decades ago. And so he died at some point, and then Dakin decided to bring him back in his younger form so they could kind of be together again. That's my understanding. And please, if I'm wrong, let me know. So here's what I think is kind of an interesting decision: is Aurora is known for having this like ultra Catholic, like alter ego, right?
Mhm.
So, who in the past has been very homophobic. And I know they've kind of dealt with that, but
That could still
that
potentially
could
be a little.
still be a thing. Who knows? I'm not like of the Bobby A twins. Like I've always been a JP fan,
Mhm.
just because mainly because of the Chuck Austin run, because I read the whole Chuck Austin run
Mhm.
several times. But yeah, so I don't know a lot about her character, but I do know that she does have that like weird alter ego that's like, because she's like got two personalities, and
Mhm.
what the other alter ego is like super Catholic and super like almost like a nun. So
Yeah.
that could be an interesting dynamic, but I also kind of don't want to read a story about that either. You know, like
Yeah.
so I guess I'm willing to see what's gonna happen. Let's see what's gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, I personally don't really want to see a story like that, but yeah, that might be something that can be dealt
Yeah,
with.
who knows? I could be wrong, so who knows?
At this point, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not very excited for what they're doing plot wise. Like the Cassandra Nova thing and everything has not made me more excited to read Marauders. I'm pretty much only picking it up, still giving it a shot because Kate is still the captain of the team, Bishop's there, and now Psylocke's there. And
Mhm.
I'm so pissed that they ended Hellions. Like, they didn't continue it or make another crazy batshit team like that one was. But I love Kanan. So I will be giving it a shot. I'm hoping it's still good. Steve Orlando, he's done some really good stuff. He's a writer on it. But we'll just have to see because this is his first X book. So, you know.
I like I said, I have an open mind to anything and everything. So let's go. Let's see. Let's do it.
The one thing I have less of an open mind to is being convinced to actually read the X-Force book, because X-Force will be continuing. But I don't care much about X-Force. I haven't read those books. I read the Hellfire Gala issue and that was it. I
Mhm.
don't have any interest. Beast is terrible. Go away. I can read
Oh, is he still in
Wolverine.
it?
Yes.
Okay, then no,
Yep,
done.
I
Moving
can
on.
read. Yeah, I can read Logan anywhere, and Sage is there. So unless I have Sage burning Beast alive, I'll pass. Don't need to read it.
Yeah. Next. Thank
Um,
you. Next.
right. So next, we do have something interesting. So Excalibur is done, but they are basically rebranding it essentially. It is now going to be Knights of X. Betsy Braddock as Captain Britain will still be leading the team. Our what the hell is the name I'm looking for? I don't know. Our badass lesbian gay Rachel Summers will still be there as well. It looks like Gambit's there, I believe. So it's interesting, but if you are a big fan of Excalibur and the Otherworld stuff, that is still going. So Knights of X is there. It's right there.
And Megan, I think, is also on that book, right? Like I think she actually is in the team now. Or
I
it
think
seems like
so.
she is.
I
Yeah.
possible. I'm not completely sure, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wonder if the reason they rebranded it Knights of X is they have plans to do something with the actual Excalibur title that ties back into the original 1980s book. And Girl Can Dream, but
Right.
Girl Can Dream.
Uh so yeah, I personally am not a big fan of the Otherworld stuff. It just isn't my thing. I think it's well written. I think it's a great fantasy world. It's just not my favorite thing. But I'm glad it's continuing. So excited to see where that goes from there. And also Rachel and Betsy, please fuck already. I saw that page. In Excalibur issue. Please. I swear to God.
To be fair, Rachel's got to fuck like Rachel just has to event. Rachel just please just she needs to just be
Did you
like
see?
just let her be with a woman. Just let her be with a
I
woman.
think
I
it
don't
was the
care who at this
Hellfire
point.
Gala issue of Excalibur. Did you read that issue, Lisa? Because there's this one page in particular where they're dancing together and Rachel is such a stud. And I'm literally just like, how did you not just like take her away and like
My
rail her? I don't understand. You basically just did it on this dance floor.
my only thing with Rachel is like I see Rachel with I know I don't know if other people agree, but I see Rachel with Kitty more than I would with Betsy.
Oh, I agree. But that page convinced me that I could see her with Betsy too, is the thing.
Mm.
I was like, even if she ends up with Kitty, she can still fuck other women.
Well, no, she doesn't have to end up with anybody. She can just be with anybody. Like just go be a free agent, Rachel.
As she should be right now.
Girl, you were a hound, and then you were a hound, and then Mojo had you, and then like all this awful stuff happened to you, and then you dated men, and then Alistair
She needs
Stewart tried to
fun.
date you. Like, girl, you just be a free agent. Go and just enjoy the Krakoa. Go have fun and just be. And like just find every woman who will fuck you and do it, because that's what you should do. And leave Kurt out of it. Just leave Kurt. Stop. Leave him out of it. enough.
No, they can be best friends. She can talk to
They
Kurt
can,
and try to get advice, but like they're best friends. That's it.
but they're best friends. But you know what though? He's still going through a thing. He's still going like, he's still
We're gonna
going through a
get to
thing.
what he's going through because he is
Yeah.
going through something. You know what? Let's just get to it now. So Kurt's still going through his own thing. So Way of X ended kind of on an open note, and then the Onslaught Revelation happened, and I was pretty disappointed by that issue. That issue didn't do much, but he is going to lead his own team, which I'm excited about that concept at least. He's gonna be leading the Legion
Finally.
X, which is cool. He's leading his own team. I'm not super thrilled that he is basically being portrayed as, you know, they're basically going to be Krakoa's cops. Like, I'm not really here for that, but I'm hoping that Cy Spurrier expands more on that, and it's a lot bigger picture than that.
I think the problem that's happened is that everybody has simplified the topic to be like, oh, they're Krakoa's cops, and it's like, I don't think they really are Krakoa's cops. I think it's a different. I don't know how to describe it. But I guess we'll find out when it starts and we see actually what they do and where they're at. I mean, listen, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited about a couple members of the team. Juggernaut for one. I really enjoyed Juggernaut when he was on the team back during Austin's run. So I'm really excited, and I enjoyed him in New Excalibur, even though I wasn't the biggest fan of New Excalibur for a lot of reasons. Like I like when Juggernaut is good. I don't know. I like Juggernaut in general. I like him as a character, but I like when he's good, because it kind of makes sense. Like Juggernaut's problem is Charles Xavier, right? That's his problem. Mm-hmm. His problem is Charles Xavier. So take that out of the equation. I think he could be a hero. So I'm glad he's on the team. I'm really excited about Dust being on the team because so in the initial image that we saw back when Onslaught Revelations ended, you couldn't really see her because she was kind of a dust cloud up at the top, but you didn't really see her, like the top of her, like she was kind of cut off. But then they showed like the most recent stuff, you see her, and I'm like, oh, Dust is on the team. That's going to be cool. Because I think one of the things that they're going to be dealing with, I think they're still going to be dealing with some of the faith issues in this as part of it. So that's going to be cool to have Dust on the team. I mean, Pixie, I'm happy to see Pixie there because Pixie's just fun. And I like Pixie.
Yeah.
Who else on the, Dr. Nemesis. I could give or take Dr. Nemesis.
Yeah, he's O'Creedon. I am positive that he's gonna do fucked up shit and he's gonna be a problem. Positive
probably.
100% positive.
The most important member of the team is the beard. So
just Kurt's beard. You're right. Bro, when I saw that art at the end of the Onslaught Revelation, like that was the best part of that entire issue, was just that ad where you saw Legion of X and you saw his beard. I was like, let's go!
I just loved it so much because I feel like there's been this underground online movement about the beard ever since the beard went away. And I feel like they heard it. I feel heard. We're heard. You know, we did something, guys. We did it. Yeah. You know? So I just feel good. I agree.
And, you know, speaking of a beard that I personally don't mind hearing less about, love this guy, but we hear about him all the time. Mr. Logan will still, even though he is an X-Force, he will still also have his own book titled Wolverine. I don't really care about that. Logan's Logan. Like, great. Like, it's like another Batman book for DC. Like, okay, cool. Like, chill. We're moving on.
I will read the inevitable issue that has him like drinking with Nightcrawler talking about something, because
you know
I feel like that happens in every single Wolverine book that happens in. It's like there's an issue where like him and Nightcrawler have like a heart to heart. So I'm in for that issue.
I guarantee you, if they do that, we're gonna talk about it on the pod. I promise you. Like I will read it myself as well, and we'll be talking about it. What I doubt I'll be talking about for a while, unless the writing gets better than it had been for me. The X-Men title will be continuing with Mr. Jared Duggan. I dropped that man. Like once he took over the book, I dropped it after 2 or 3 issues because it just felt like, to me, it felt like he was trying too hard to imitate Hickman while also doing his own thing, and it didn't work together. I love Duggan on Marauders. He just needs to do that. Like a similar style, his own tone, but almost feels like he's trying to be as wordy and stuff as Hickman is, and that's not Duggan's style. Stop it. Please do not try to imitate Hickman. Do your own thing.
So with the new X-Men team, we're going to be getting a new X-Men member, aren't we?
Yes, and we're waiting on that vote. Yep.
So that's interesting.
So yeah, it will be interesting. Well, it's also funny because Duggan's a writer in the book, and one of the people who could become the new X-Men is Firestar. And a
Hmm.
lot of people didn't like that because it's like, she's not even Krakoan. She doesn't even go here. And like, people call her a cop. And Duggan was one of those people. He said, she's a fucking cop. Don't pick her. I'm like, bro, what are you going to do if she won and Marvel tells you you have to write her? Like,
I gotta tell you, I in previous jobs I've had, um, we have run contests or we have had polls asking for things,
yeah.
and almost universally the decision was made before we had the poll guys. So I'm gonna guarantee you that they already knew who was gonna be picked. I think so. Firestar. I thought Firestar was a cool decision because she is very disconnected from the whole mutant thing, but she's a mutant,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, I like her because she helped save Kurt when he was coming back to life. So, and
Yeah.
she was the first pretty girl he saw when he came back to life. He was like he was like, I'm back, and he's like, oh ho, I ain't met you before. Who's you? So
Another he started thinking with his dick again. Don't worry about it,
immediately,
guys.
immediately, like his dick was still cold, and it was like, beep, beep, beep. And so I mean, I like her. I know there was like a huge push for Monet,
Oh my
which
god,
that
that was probably the biggest push I saw. Like
yeah,
Firestar was right behind, but oh
yeah,
my god.
huge push for Monet. The Firestar thing too also has to do with Butterrum. So like justice for Butterrum. Let's never kill. Just don't kill someone's horse to make them
Yeah,
your student.
I
That's just
did
not
appreciate
targeted.
that this X-Men vote seemed less likely it was an obvious winner. Even if you're right, Marvel kind of knew what they're gonna go with. This one was a lot more spread out with who you wanted, especially before everybody decided to rally for Monet or Firestar. People made it one or the other, even though there
Yeah,
were like 6 people. But like, because last time it was easily like everybody knew it was gonna be hilarious. It was fucking obvious.
yeah,
But now it's like, oh, at least, it seems like there's at least 2, one where the others, they're bigger. So I thought Marvel did a better job with the poll this time in terms of
yeah.
nominees.
I look at one thing. I look at one thing one way, and from like a marketing standpoint and a cross promotion standpoint, Firestar makes the most sense because she's a
Yeah.
character who's been on the Avengers. And like, don't come at me, guys. I'm not like saying here or there what it should be, right? But just from a marketing standpoint and everything else. So Monet's last book tanked. So that was the last book she was the head of. So and then from the other standpoint, Firestar has the history with the Avengers. She's got all this other history from all these other teams that can be cross promoted and brought and bring all this other drama and other stuff into the X-Men. So I see that side of it too, where it's like, oh, this opens us up to a lot of other stories and a lot of other avenues, but also not just that. It also opens us up to like, hey, you read about Firestar and Avengers. Hey, she's over here now. Come read. Come like bringing new readers in. I see that as being like a big draw for them to have her join the team rather than any of the characters like that are characters that have already been on the X-Men and already been around the X-Men. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, like Micromax isn't coming, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Excalibur. Micromax did not win, and he's not going to be
Yeah.
joining the team.
There's no way. Absolutely not.
No.
But there's another really great team out there. I don't think Micromax could join this team either, but there's another really great team. I have not read this book yet. I have been wanting to because I've heard a lot of good things about. But this one will also be continuing. New Mutants will still be continuing, which is really cool. I've heard lots of good things about. I'm very excited to see what they do with Magic. Magic is getting a bigger arc coming up with Madeline Pryor, and who's gonna rule limbo or whatever. And you know what? I'm here for it. That's exactly the content I wanted.
Oh
So
yeah,
they got
that'll be
me.
interesting. No, that'll be interesting for
I'm
sure.
perfectly timed to read it. And then I would say one of the this is the last book, but it's also highly anticipated because of one of the people leading it, the X-Men Red book. This has
Yes.
nothing to do with Tom Taylor's run years ago. This
Which
is a new one.
honestly,
It's a great run.
it's a great run. Tom Taylor put together probably my favorite lineup of X-Men ever. So
Mhm.
just want to throw it out there.
It's great. You should read X-Men Run by Tom Taylor.
Oh, it's so
It's
good.
great. I
And
actually have both volumes.
it is the debut of the Beard. So
Oh, you know what? We need to do an episode on it. Done. How did we not
Of
think of
course
this
we're gonna do
before?
it.
We're
Of course
foolish.
we're gonna do an episode on it. Yeah.
But X-Men Red, even though Kurt is not in this book, or at least not a big part of it, or whatever, Storm is. Storm and Magneto are the focal points of this book. And you know what? They could have chosen two stronger people to have leading this book about Araco and the politics of it all and such. It's basically like a sequel-ish to Sword. It's a lead off of Sword, but they have directly said, hey, Storm is leading this book and Magneto's here too and shit. And you know what? Love it. Give her book. It's about time.
Exactly. Let her be great. Let her be great. She deserves it.
I mean, she's already great, but now she can be great and lead her own book as she should.
Yeah, just please do me a favor. Do not try to pair her up with Magneto.
Please, no, please. That will hurt. Stop it. Well, I mean, she's back with T'Challa in the comics.
Oh.
She's with T'Challa again, so don't worry about it.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
See,
that's been a thing. So
I'm so behind. I've been at sea for a month, and this is what happens. I'm so behind. I haven't even read Sabretooth yet, and I really want to.
You do need to. We should talk about that because it's very interesting. It made me very uncomfortable, but it was supposed to. It was very well written.
I just my whole image of what Sabretooth is just that scene from Goodfellas where they're all in jail making pasta. That's what I think Sabretooth is. They're just all in the hole making pasta.
Yeah, I think this issue might break your soul then.
Okay.
You're gonna need to be ready for a lot more Game of Thrones brutality.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not exaggerating either. Anyways, we'll be back whenever Lisa reads Sabretooth.
Oh my god, maybe. I don't know. I might not be back. I don't know.
She might hide in a corner and be like, Lauren, I can't do this anymore. Why'd you let me read this?
Listen, the only reason that I have faith is I do know that Dr. Anna Papard is also Sabretooth's PR manager, so she wouldn't represent anyone bad.
I should send you the article that her and one of her other colleagues did. It's a really great article about it.
All right, let me read it first.
Yes, you have to. Anyways, Sabretooth is leading into Destiny of X, which is interesting. They've chosen to do this before they launch all the other titles as well, because it's almost like they're like, yes, we want to start off this era a certain way, but we also want something to lead into it. So really interesting to see what tone this will help set for when, like Marauders 1 comes out and all these other books. It's going to be really interesting.
All right, yeah, I gotta read it. Oh my goodness, I'm scared.
It's going to be an era, but I gotta say, I appreciate we have Dawn of X, we have Reign of X, and then we have Destiny of X.
And then after that, it's going to be Nocturne of X.
You're manifesting it.
I'm manifesting it. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right, holy shit.
Judge Lisa has issued her ruling. This is what's going to happen.
Yep. It's done. Nocturne of X. And it's just, she just shows up and she's like, hey guys, by the way, you're my mom, you're my dad. You should get together. Hi.
Listen, if they can bring Thunderbird back, I think she can become a part of this.
God, yes. And he looks so good coming out of that egg. Oh my God. Right? Oh my God. He looks so good coming out of that egg.
I never saw a man make an egg look so good, but he did.
Oh, that's true. Oh my God. Make me an omelet, daddy.
Title of this episode. That has nothing to do with what this episode is about, everybody. But,
I think omelet of X comes after Nocturne of X.
Omelet of X. Oh,
that's after Nocturne of X. Yeah,
I love it. Oh, where everybody finally makes more mutants and everybody rails each other. Finally.
Yeah, if anyone would like to see my little smiley I made about that, come to the Nightcrawler Discord and you can see it because it's really funny. So the omelet of X.
I love it.
Well, thank you guys all for joining us to talk about Destiny of X. This has been very enlightening, very exciting. Even though there are books we're not really looking forward to, I'm still looking forward to all of it. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen, what's going to shake out.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I hope lots of good things shake out. But we all know that there's going to be some real nasty things that come too. So we got to be ready for everything to come at us. We just have to be ready. X stands.
Exactly. We just got to Marvel, please just don't hurt the beard.
Please keep the beard. If I see that beard shaved, I'm going to lose it.
Oh my! And if it turns into a goatee, oh my God, I'm storming the offices. Like, I'm sure at this point, everybody works from home anyway, and I'm just going to run into a receptionist, but I'm storming.
I think that if Dr. Papard would be okay with that, I think you should be the Beard's PR manager. Specifically the Beards.
I think that's fair.
I think that, I mean, it's a full-time job. I mean, she's already Nightcrawler's PR manager and Sabretooth's. I mean, also the Beard. I mean, I'm sure she needs to, spread it out so she can dedicate her time to her clients the best possible.
I totally agree. I speak for the Beard. I call it. There you go.
Done. I love it. We're gonna make the Simply Amazing PR team. Thank you.
There you
everybody.
Go. Perfect. Exactly. Well, everybody, you can find us, of course, on our website, simplyamazingpod.com. That you'll see all our links there. We do have a blog that hasn't been updated in a while, but eventually we'll get back to updating it eventually. If you want to write anything for us, you can always write something. We'll put it up there. Fanfic, whatever. We'll throw it up there. We also have a Discord. We have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. All of those links you can find on our website. You can find all of the ways to listen on your favorite places. And if you like what you're listening to, why not rate us and subscribe us and leave a little review. Click, click, ding, 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 ding. Tell us what you think. And we'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear from you guys. If you want to come talk to me personally and tell me that I am amazing or tell me that you think I'm crazy, either way, I take it as a compliment. You can find me at the OG Nocturne, as NACHTURNE, OG Nocturne. On twitter.com or on twitter.com. Oh my gosh. I'm literally turning into an old person.
Girl, you're saying everything though. Like you got all this memorized. So I was like, you were doing amazing.
I'm pretty impressed because it's been like a month since I've done this, and I'm like, I'm coming off like this. But I'm just leaning in hard to becoming a golden girl early. So yeah, you can find us on Twitter at the OG Nocturne. And Lauren, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at friendlymBHDBI. And if anybody wants to again draw that panel that's from Saga apparently with Will and the stuff on his face, but you want to do that with Kurt, please send it to us. You don't understand. It will go on my wall that's right behind me. I promise. I will put it there. My mother will hate it, so she'll never come in my room again. I won't let her once it's up, but I will put it on my wall.
There you go. And if you are out there listening and you are trying to scout children for your new Massachusetts Academy, do us a favor. Don't kill their horses. It's not going to work, okay? But it doesn't matter. You're still simply amazing.